A range of new and growing options exist on the car dealer lot when it comes to hybrid and electric vehicles, but if you've been following the headlines lately, decisions made by major automakers reflect a market tilting more hybrid than EV. Ford just announced it's delaying an EV pickup and in the short term focusing more on its North American hybrid lineup. EV euphoria is dead, with the idea of consumer choice back in among car companies from Ford to General Motors, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, Jaguar, Land Rover and Aston Martin, which are all scaling back or delaying their electric vehicle plans. GM's EV sales remained insignificant in the most recent quarter. But finding the best bang for your buck can be complicated. These decisions often turn on factors such as upfront cost, driving habits, how long you plan to own the car, likely costs over time and even what area of the country you live in. The answer isn't always straightforward even amid headlines screaming hybrid. Here are some tips to help car buyers make the right decision. Before you start comparing costs, it makes sense to think about how you plan to use the vehicle. Are you just driving 5 or 10 miles to work and back each day, or are you planning on taking the car on long road trips? If you drive long distances frequently, consider the availability of fast charging stations along your route. If fast charging stations are scarce, as they are in many areas of the country, you might be better served with a hybrid where you just pull into a gas station and keep driving, said Sandeep Rao, lead researcher for Leverage Shares, which offers investment funds including several focused on the stocks of EV and traditional automakers. The federal government's initiative to create a vast charging network across the U.S. hasn't yet materialized on a widespread basis. Instead, the focus has been on pockets of the country like California, the New York tri-state area, Florida and Texas, but the vast majority of people live in between these places. Most Americans don't have access to EVs because there's not enough charging infrastructure, Rao said. He also said to consider how long you plan to own the vehicle, the car's potential service needs and what nearby options exist for maintenance. Other factors include your home setup. Do you have the right conditions to charge an EV quickly and conveniently? And what would the upfront costs be to upgrade your system to allow for faster charging, if desired? If it's still a toss-up between an EV and a hybrid, next consider upfront costs. The average price of the top 10 best-selling electric vehicles in the U.S. is about $53,758, with an average of $48,430 for the low-end version of each model and $64,936 for the high-end version of each model, according to Find My Electric, an independent EV marketplace.